Monday morning, August 22nd, 2022. Almost finished with baseball matchups in this book. Chapter 33. We've got a couple more videos. Then episode 500 will be classic. Stay tuned. But for now, we're on episode 497. Pitching saves career. Who has the most? Mariano Rivera. 652 pitching career saves. 19 other pitchers have saves after him. Trevor Hoffman, Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley, Rollie Fingers, Goose Gossage, Bruce Sutter, Hoyt Wilhelm, John Smoltz, Lefty Grove, Hoyt Wilhelm, Mordecai Brown, Herb Pennock, Ed Walsh, Chief Bender, Walter Johnson, Pete Alexander, Dizzy Dean, Christy Mathewson, and Phil Niekro. Mariano Rivera leads, 652. Let's match him up. 15 categories. Wins, innings, strikeouts, complete games, game started in the season. Shutouts in a season, ERA, career. Wins in a season, innings in a season, strikeouts in a season, ERA in a season, saves, winning percentage. Those are 15 categories. Who wins the category, wins the matchup. Trevor Hoffman, number 2 in saves, 601. Rivera beats him 11-1-3. Lee Smith, Rivera 8-4-3. Dennis Eckersley, he beats Rivera 12-3. Rollie Finger beats Rivera 11-4. Goose Gossage wins over Rivera 10-3-2. The last number is a tie. 15 categories. 10 wins, 3 losses, 2 tied. Bruce Sutter, Rivera wins 9-3-3. Hoyt Wilhelm, he beats Rivera 12-3. John Smoltz, he beats Rivera 13-2. Lefty Grove wins 12-3. Wade Hoyt wins 10-5. Mordecai Brown wins 14-1. Herb Pennock wins 11-4. Ed Walsh wins 14-1. Chief Bender wins 12-3. Walter Johnson wins 14-1. Pete Alexander wins 14-1. Dizzy Dean 11-4 wins. Christy Mathewson 14-1 win. And Phil Niekro wins 11-4. So how did Mariano Rivera match up with the following 19 pitchers who have the most saves? Not good. 3 wins, 16 losses. Why? Well, Rivera has the most games pitched of any pitcher in Major League history. Did you know that? He has 1,115 games of those in the Hall of Fame. I think there's some others who have more appearances, but they're not in the Hall. So as far as a pitcher being in the Hall of Fame, Rivera has the most pitching appearances, 1,115. But how many games did he start? Only 10. So 1,105 were in relief. So I think that's why in the matchups, he doesn't win in the matchups. He beats the other closers, other relievers, but he doesn't beat the starting pitchers. Following me? 3 wins. He beat Hoffman, Sutter, and Lee Smith. But he lost to all the other guys because most of them were starters. Mathewson, Alexander, Johnson, Walsh, Brown, Smoltz, Bender, Grove, Wilhelm, Eckersley. Eckersley started a lot of games. Fingers was a reliever, but Fingers beat him. Pennock, Dean, Niekro, Hoyt, Gossage, Gossage was a reliever. But quality pitcher, Mariano Rivera, as far as saves, he has the most, 652. I'm going to do another chapter here because we're getting close. I'm going to do pitching career games started in a season. Who has the most starts? Not in a career, but in the season. Pud Calvin, 75 starts. That's a record that will not be broken. Why? Today's pitchers are just starting 30, 35, and if you're lucky, you'll get 40 starts. He had 75 of them. How does he match up with all the rest of the pitchers after him who have the most starts? Charlie Radburn, Clarkson, Spalding, Keefe, Ward, Welsh, Russi, Chesbro, Nichols, Walsh, Young, McKinney, Mathewson, Waddell, Willis, Alexander, Niekro, Plank, and Don Drysdale. It's interesting, Don Drysdale is number 20 on the list in starts. He had 42 of them. But Pud Calvin, 75, Radburn, 73, Clarkson, 72. You see, those guys in the old school era had a lot of starts, probably every 2 or 3 days. Some of them even started both games of a doubleheader. How does Pud Calvin match up in the 15 categories I mentioned? 18 wins, 1 loss. Very good, Pud Calvin. Wait till you see the top 10 pitchers of all time in my classic 500th episode. See where Pud Calvin ranks. All right, those 15 categories, I mentioned them already. Calvin beats Radburn, 8-6-1. Beats Clarkson, 9-6. Beats Spalding, 11-4. Beats Keefe, 9-5-1. Beats Ward, 10-5. Welsh, 10-5. Russi, 11-4. Chesbro, 10-5. Nichols, 12-3. Walsh, 11-4. Here's his 1 loss. Cy Young, 9-6 he lost. He only had 1 loss. All the rest he beat. McKinney, Calvin wins 11-4. Mathewson, close, but he beat him 8-7. Waddell, 10-5, he beats. Beats Willis, 11-4. Beats Alexander, 9-6. Beats Calvin, 10-5. Beats Plank, 10-5. Beats Drysdale, 12-3. You notice one player missing here? One pitcher? Walter Johnson. Why? Because the most starts in one season for Walter Johnson was 41. And in order to make the cutoff of the 20 top pitchers with the most starts, he would have to have beat number 42 was number 20 in starts. Don Drysdale, 42 starts. And then the 21st player would have been Walter Johnson. Why do I mention that Walter Johnson? Because how did Pud Calvin match up with Walter Johnson? Let's look it up. I've got it here in the 2nd chapter on shutouts. Walter Johnson. What was his record against Pud Calvin? Let's see. I've got him here. Here he is. In the shutout chapter, how did Walter Johnson match up with Pud Calvin? He lost 8-7. He beat Walter Johnson. How about that? But Cy Young beat Bud Calvin. Who's better, Cy Young, Bud Calvin, or Walter Johnson in matchups? That classic 500th episode, I'm going to rank them. And I'm going to do it according to matchups. So stay tuned for that number 500th episode. I keep promoting it. It's coming. This is episode 497. All right, so we did pitching saves and then games started in a season. Episode 498, we're going to deal with most pitching shutouts in a season. That's Pete Alexander. And we're also going to do the career winning percentage, and that's Al Spalding. That will be episode 498. 499, I'm going to recap this book. And then episode 500, I will list the top greatest hitters of all time, top 10. And I will list the top 10 greatest pitchers of all time. And it will be according to matchup stats in this classic book I've got, okay? Stay tuned. I'm out.